Good morning. Happy Thursday. Gosh, this week passed by so fast. Let me We got a lot to talk about today. There is a lot going on in the US. Gosh, we got shutdown going on. Probably we have Trump sending the feds to raid the election office in Fulton County. Woo, child. We're gonna have to pin the Dirty Dozens today because I want to talk about how the shutdown, if there's going to if Congress don't act right, well, if the Crips and Bloods don't act right, if they don't come to a decision, I'm gonna give y'all this as plain English as possible. I'm gonna try not to use any technical terms that you don't understand. I'll wait about a minute and give some people time to join. I am shocked at all this stuff that's going on, especially the feds raiding the elections office. Let me get all my stuff pulled up. Good morning. Good morning. If you're just joining in, give me a good morning in the comments. And let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm pulling up all my information so I won't miss anything while I'm talking to y'all and giving you the tea on what's going on. Good Lord, it's a lot happening in the US. I saw a video last night about the feds raiding the elections office, and this is just insane. On top of everything that's going on with ICE, baby. Ooh, y'all come on in. Let's talk about this shutdown. All right, so I got a few people on. If you come in late, just go back and hit replay. I always leave my lives up. So let's talk about what's going on right now, and how this possible government shutdown could affect the Internal Revenue Service, your refunds, your tax refunds, and the IRS employees. I'm going to keep this really, really simple. And I'm going to try not to use any technical terms. So, Congress is fighting, period. Think of it, and I saw a Crips and Blood picture, and it was so hilarious to me. So think of it like this: the Democrats and the Republicans are acting like the Crips and the Bloods. Okay, that's the blue and the red. Like when I saw that picture, I was like, you know what? Because politicians, baby, woo, that's a whole nother ball game. I don't think that I could be a politician. Not saying that it won't happen in the future because I don't know what God has in store for me, but baby, talk about cutthroat. Woo! So they're beefing over money and priorities and policies. So while they're arguing about this budget, the government's funding is running out. And unfortunately, excuse me, give me 1 second. Unfortunately, we the people are always caught in the middle of their mess. We're always the ones that are impacted, especially government employees that are furloughed or forced to work without pay when government shutdowns happens. But the people that are indecisive, those people are still getting paid. So it has little to no effect on them when the government shuts down. So if they don't pass a spending bill or a temporary funding extension, parts of the government will shut down. This check just got me rolling. Parts of the government will shut down, and the Internal Revenue Service is included in that partial shutdown. So I don't know if the Internal Revenue Service has a contingency plan for 2026, because when I went out there to look it up, I only saw the 2025 contingency plan. So unless I'm missing something, as of this morning, well, no, as of last night, I did not see a contingency plan. That plan normally explains who works, who doesn't work, like who's furloughed, who's not furloughed, who's getting paid. Probably nobody is getting paid because they don't have the funding. They weren't getting paid last year when the government was shut down. And the ones that were required to work, those essential workers, they were working without pay. So the contingency plan also tells you what services continues and what slows down, what's reduced, and what's stopped. So I'm just gonna go off of, and I'm gonna share information with you all from what I have been reading on reputable websites. I have not seen a contingency plan. So some IRS employees will be furloughed. We don't know again who's going to be essential or who's going to be marked as non-essential. So if you don't know what essential and non-essential is when the IRS employees are furloughed, they're sent home without pay. Essential employees, they stay working mainly to protect the government and the money and the systems. Like last year, revenue officers, appeals, and other the tax attorneys, all of those were non-essential workers last year because they were sent home. I had a few appeals appointments the week of the shutdown, but revenue officers were calling me to cancel those appointments. They couldn't even reschedule it because they didn't know how long they were going to be out. Essential employees were the people that were still working, the people in customer service, and things like that. So although customer service was still working and collections was still working, because I was still closing cases, there just wasn't a lot of new things that I could do. Or if I was working with a revenue officer, all those cases were paused for me last year. But collections is considered essential, so they will still be working. Those are the people that collect the funds. They collect the government's coins, so they're still more than likely will still be working. At least last year they were. What all of that means is we know that the customer service at the Internal Revenue Service is hell already. Although the taxpayer bill of rights, a part of that is we're supposed to receive great customer service, but out of 10, I would say it's a 1 in 10 for me. Like yesterday, the agents that I was getting yesterday was unreal. Like they make it hard for the client to even pay the government. And I think when we go to the fly-in this year, that needs to be one of the talking points, how bad the customer service agents are. They won't talk to you if you put them on speakerphone. They won't talk to you if the calls are recorded. Like, it's just, their calls need to be recorded. Like all customer care representatives, that it shouldn't be any different from the Internal Revenue Service. And people really need to go back and listen to some of those calls, because my mouth be wide open a lot of times on some of the things that some of those agents tell me. Like yesterday, I called to get some to do a compliance check on a client. And I was telling the customers, the collections, it was a collections agent that I was talking to. I was telling her that we were gathering financials for a client. And she was like, well, okay, well, I'm just going to notate the file that you're refusing to pay. I'm like, what? Are you serious right now? I said, also notate that you telling a damn lie. I never said my client was refusing to pay. I said that we are gathering the financials to get her an installment agreement plan set up. And so we kind of went back and forth, and I finally just asked for a manager call back. And then she started getting nice, and I confirmed her agent ID because that's something I always do when I call the Internal Revenue Service. I want to know your name and I want to know your agent ID number. And that will sometimes let them know that you're experienced and you ain't calling to bullshit with them, and you will report them because I will report them. Even if they won't give me their manager's contact information, I'll call the practitioner priority line and give them that agent's name and agent ID, and I'll ask for that manager's contact information. Baby, I will even call the stakeholder liaison. Don't play with me about my clients because it just don't make sense how bad their customer service is when you call them. All right. So back to the non-essential and the essential workers. So fewer people will be handling audits. So if you are going through an audit right now, if you're going through an appeal right now, or any type of disputes and collections, you may or may not have to put a pause, have a pause put on that until after the shutdown, if it shuts down. All automation letters, of course, will still go out. So you're still going to get mail. That doesn't mean that a human is sending it to you. Most of the Internal Revenue Service letters are auto-generated, so you'll still receive those letters in the mail. Okay, what about the tax refunds? That's what everybody is worried about. What are the refunds going to go out? Am I going to get paid? Is this going to hold me up? Because a lot of people really look forward to those refunds every year. Like, people really need those refunds every year. So the short answer to that is it depends. So some refunds will go out, especially at the start of the shutdown. And another thing, we don't know how long this partial shutdown is going to last if it happens. If you file electronically, and if you don't have any issues with your tax returns, the returns that go straight through the automated systems should be paid without any disruption. Now, if your return is flagged, then you will not receive your refund until the shutdown is over or until a human can actually review that flag. So if you're flagged, and being flagged doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your tax return. It just means that maybe a human needs to review what's on it to determine if the refund should be issued or if some information needs to be requested. More supporting documents need to be requested. Now, for those of you that are filing really fast and don't have all your income information, you're trying to file with your last pay stubs, be cautious with that because that will definitely flag your return. And that will definitely put a pause on your refund being issued, because what happens is if what you report on your tax return, if that income doesn't match what was reported to the Internal Revenue Service, you're going to receive a letter CP 2000 in the mail. And that letter is just saying, hey, boo, you said you made $10,000 for the year, but 20,000 was reported. So either you lied, you trying to do tax evasion, or you left off some income. So I need you to get this situated. So that's why a lot of tax preparers be trying to tell you, don't rush to file your tax returns. Make sure you have all your W-2s, and you should not be filing with the last pay stub. Okay, let me look at my notes and make sure. Oh, I wrote a list of items that can delay a refund, and I'll read you that list. I'm glad I wrote this down because I would have forgotten to give it to you. So if a return needs a manual review, that will stop your refund or slow it down. If identity verification is needed, that will stop or slow down your refund. If you have earned income tax credit or a child tax credit review, that will stop or slow down your refund. But if you have the earned income anyway, y'all ain't about to get those refunds right now. I don't have the date in February when those refunds start being issued because I don't prepare taxes anymore. But y'all won't start receiving refunds until February. If you have any prior year issues that are not resolved, you will not get a refund until those prior issues are resolved. If you have any amended returns, any paper filed returns, or any open audits or IRS holds. So anything that requires a human being to do a review, that will likely cause a delay in your refund. But if everything is good with you, if all your income is reported, oh, that's another thing too. The forms like 1095A that are required to be added on your tax return. If you leave that form off, baby, you can hang it up. You can hang it up because that's one thing I hated about tax preparation. Clients will swear up and down that they're giving you all their documents. And when you submit the return, you start getting these rejection codes and delays, and it was just too much. So I pray for tax preparers, especially during tax season, because it is not easy being a tax preparer. It comes with a lot. And every time something happens on a client's account, they blame the tax preparer when most of the time it's not even the tax preparer's fault. It's nothing that they did wrong. It is just you all, the taxpayers, you all aren't giving all of your documents to your tax preparer. So when that happens, you cause your own delay trying to rush and file those tax returns. So again, let me see what else I wrote for y'all. IRS notices will still go out. Deadlines still apply. So if you know you got a deadline coming up, business owners, you still have to file those taxes on time. And if you file an extension, remember that extension is only an extension to file, not to pay. So if you have a balance, you need to pay that balance. If you don't know exactly what your balance is going to be this year, pay at least 100% of what you paid last year, or you're going to receive penalties. What you should not do: don't stop filing. Make sure you file your returns on time. Don't stop paying. Don't assume that any deadlines disappear. Wait on Congress to get it together, honey. I got that in caps. That's all we all can do is wait on Congress to get it together. A lot of times I've been finding myself lately saying, where the hell is Congress? Because we are in an uproar, okay? And Congress ain't nowhere in sight. I think that is all that I wanted to share with you all this morning. Just remember that a shutdown creates bigger backlogs. So if you have paper returns that you mailed in and you've been waiting for them to be processed, they're backlogged right now. So in short, how does all of this end? What will end or what will prevent a shutdown? If Congress agrees, if they pass a funding bill or a temporary resolution, and the president signs it. And until then, agencies like the Internal Revenue Service, they're stuck in their operations and in their survival mode. So, good morning, Shamika. I don't see any questions. I hope that this was helpful for you all wondering what's going to happen with your refunds if the government is shut down. So the Bloods and the Crips and Congress, they all got until Friday at midnight. If they don't come to a resolution, then Saturday at 12:01 a.m., the government will be partially shut down. And I'll check back with you all, probably not tomorrow because I have a board meeting at the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow. So I'll keep you all posted. If I can't do a video, then I'll just make some posts to keep you all posted on what's going on with the shutdown. You all have an amazing day. Remember, be kind. You don't know what people are going through. People probably can be one step away from jumping off a bridge. Y'all got to learn how to be kind to people, or they can be them crazy people that are just have shootout. So y'all better start learning how to leave people alone. Okay. Have an amazing day. See y'all later. Peace.